welcome to our Mill Creek Crossing Connection for this Wednesday morning, brought to you by Dan Dolan and Dan Dolan Homes. And joining us in studio, we do have Dwight Wheelan. And good morning, Dwight.
Good morning. Nice morning again.
Yes, a nice morning to take a trip out to Mill Creek and check things out there. I know they're still working on the new model home, I guess, will be when it's completed, but not completed yet.
That's right. If there was an ad in the paper last week, and if anybody came out and saw the note on the door, we apologize for that. It isn't finished yet. I stopped by this morning to see how they were coming along, and they've made progress. They've got the countertops in, and the young man was there getting the plumbing all hooked up. Next, the electrician will be in, and all of the fixtures are there. He just hasn't got them installed yet. But the cabinets look like they're pretty well finished. And the young man was working on the sink in the kitchen. But they do have the tubs in now, and the commodes and things like that. They're just wrapping up and doing the last minute details to make sure everything works. So hopefully we'll be able to tell you in a week or two that it is ready to show, and Mary will be there Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 1, right. And we hope to get back on the schedule of the treats that Mary always brings on the second Saturday.
Right.
So we'll be announcing that here on the radio in the very near future, we hope. But it's going to be a nice home to show. Some nice features in it. It is a 3-bedroom, which is unusual for Dan to build, but 3 bedrooms on the main floor, so that could be extended to a 4 or 5 bedroom real easy by finishing half of the basement. Or, as we've said before, the third stall in the garage is 41 feet deep. There could be a bedroom there, or an exercise room, or just let your mind run wild about what you could put in that 41 feet. So we, as we've mentioned before, a lot of times we fail to mention financing. Of course, you want to work with your local bank for financing or credit union, and if you need some help, we can introduce you to a person who does the reverse mortgages, and he represents United of Omaha. And the reverse mortgage can be a lifesaver for a lot of people. So we've got some information about that too. We'd be happy to share with people.
Now you did a reverse mortgage, right?
Right.
And several of the people that live out there have done that. So obviously you're not the quote-unquote expert. You can team them up with the expert, but you can give them at least the basic information, so if anybody has any quick questions or something.
Right. I can give them some helpful information, and if they want to meet with this gentleman, we'd be happy to make that connection too. Yep. He does reverse mortgages in the Quad Cities, and he's very familiar with Mill Creek Crossing. At one time on Garrett Avenue, 80% of the people had used a reverse mortgage.
Oh, okay.
Now, there's been several added on since then, and I'm not privy to all of those things, but when I was working with Dan, 80% of the people on Garrett had used the reverse. So It's just a neat way to do some financial planning too. People can do a lot of different things with the proceeds of selling the current house. They can use it to pay excess money on a reverse mortgage, and then it's just like a bank. Then it draws interest. And one of the main features that I always shared with people, if they had an interest, is since it's a reverse mortgage and the government is involved in it, the house can never be used or taken away by someone going to a care facility. It protects that because the reverse mortgage covers the value of the house. So if there's more value than there was at the time it was taken out, one would think that maybe a care facility could get that amount, but they can't because the government, or FHA, covers the total value of the house, and it's just protected from ever being taken away. And I always thought that was a good selling point because, and it's necessary, I guess, for the care facilities to protect themselves and see what's going to cover the expenses once someone goes into a nursing home. But the amount of the house is always protected from someone taking it.
So that is an interesting point, and I know I think you've mentioned that to me a few times off air because you forget to say it on air, but now you've said it, so people, that is a bit of a selling point, I think, for some people to look at that anyway.
You bet. And I know people have taken out reverse mortgages out there and have told me that they're going to take the proceeds of the house, they're going to travel. They've lived a lifetime and deprived themselves of that feature that a lot of people like to travel. And or other people say they're going to right now share some of the worth from the house they've sold so they can see how the kids enjoy it. And so there's a lot of different things people can do with the proceeds. The interest rates now are up a little bit, considerably, but a person can do all of those things and have the comfort and knowledge that as long as either one of the spouses are still alive, they can live there with no fees or anything. The only thing that we're responsible for is we have to pay the taxes, we have to keep it insured, which we would do anyway, and they have to, if there's a homeowner's charge, they must keep that current and keep it in good repair. They certainly don't want anyone to go in and just wreck a place, but that's the only requirements, and everything that they require is something that you would do anyway.
Right. So that, again, excellent points to make if people are interested in making a purchase out there at Mill Creek. And of course, we've mentioned for the last several weeks about the home they've been working on. Hopefully will be finished by the end of the month and then can start regular open houses and that sort of thing in the new year.
I would hope so, yes.
Yeah. So we'll make the announcement here on the air when we get to that point. But so things are finally starting to get finished out there. And have you noticed much traffic of folks coming around and checking it out?
I see a lot of traffic on Connor Court.
So a lot of people driving around.
I don't know whether they're driving out to see the construction or whether they're visiting someone on Connor Court. But yes, there's considerable traffic, and hopefully in the very near future we can have the open house sign out.
Sure. And, it's a great time during the holidays if family members are visiting and they're thinking, maybe now's the time that mom and dad should find a place that's maybe a little more handicap friendly. Let's take a look out at Mill Creek, and then they can do that too, couldn't they?
Yeah, it's surprising how many people tell us, the kids think we need to make a change. We've got a big old house, and there's just the two of us anymore, and the kids think that we need to downsize and get into a place like this. So we're happy to meet those people in the evening, or if they call and want to show it, and we're not busy, we'd be happy to open it and show them.
Sure. All right. Well, sounds good, Dwight. I think that's going to wrap us up for today's show. So again, if they want to get a hold of you, you live actually right across the street from the new...
Right behind it.
Right behind it.
Behind the new house, yeah.
So, and they can always give you a call, and you'd be happy to show it to them.
You bet.
All right. Well, thanks, Dwight. That is today's Mill Creek Crossing Connection. You can hear this every Wednesday morning at this time here on KROS, and is brought to you by Dan Dolan and Dan Dolan Homes.
This is